Are we destroying our civil liberties with this coronavirus? Catch you inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're enjoying the channel and the series of videos. Please like, share, subscribe, leave those comments below. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. Click on the bell next to the subscribe button for all future videos. So, look, in this video, we're in the spiral downwards, I suppose, of this coronavirus that's hitting the UK, that's hitting all over the world, of course. Life is changing. The way we're going to have to do our daily business, our daily lives, whether we're going to have to stay at home, schools have closed, all this kind of stuff, it's all changing for us, right? The government here are coming in with emergency powers, with emergency legislation. Now, people are asking already, how long is that going to go for? And will this lead to abuse of power? And also, will this lead to complete erosion of our liberties, civil liberties? We're already seeing it in terms, there's lots of resistance from people out there. Not wanting to isolate, not wanting to go into quarantine. We've had an arrest, the first arrest here in the UK today, I believe it is, or yesterday, from you know, somebody who would not go into quarantine, kicked off, and they've been smacked with I don't know, I'm not sure if it's a £10,000 fine or something like that. I'm going to spend 3 months in jail for it, because that's how severe it is. You know, they just went to somewhere, they didn't want to quarantine, that's it. And this is the thing, if people aren't going to toe the line and people aren't going to do the sensible thing, especially if they've got symptoms or whatever, and they want to still try and you know, go to all these places and almost act as like super spreaders, then all of a sudden you're going to have, you know, the government and the law enforcement has to step in. Of course they do, but at some point you've got to say, okay, are we making a law that is temporary or permanent? How long is it going to go for? If they're going to make this law, then what's going to happen after the panic or the emergency has passed? Are they going to return the laws back to the way they were? Will they start using these laws to apply to other activities that people do? It's a minefield. I'm not saying that there will be an erosion of civil liberties. There will be, to a certain degree, on a temporary basis, but that's it. We all have to play our part, there's no doubt. But if people aren't going to be sensible and they're just going to continue thinking selfishly, because this is what we're talking about here, if they're thinking selfishly and they're still risking risking spreading this, especially to your nearest and dearest, then what's going to happen is that the restrictions will get even more severe. So right now we're just talking about, you know, everybody, it's advice, you know, social distancing, whatever, you know, don't go to bars and restaurants, but it's not law. So all these businesses are, you know, going out of business anyway, because people aren't, you know, going to go there anyway. But some are. But then say, well, okay, if you're going to accuse people of, you know, not being able to congregate in different locations, then you've got to make it law. But how long for? How long for? That's the thing. If you're going to say people don't want to do something when they're being told to do something, then what is the justification for telling that? Are they just saying, oh, you can't walk here? Well, people can say, why? Why can't I walk here? Why can't I do that? And it's how this is all approached. Mark my words, this could go on for a long time, and this could mean a big change in the way we like, but also how we are treated as individuals. And what we as a public, as a nation, as a globe, we've got to make sure that whilst this only stays temporary, whilst we're dealing with this crisis, once the crisis is over or dealt with, then we must return our civil liberties back to the way we were, like riding bikes, Harleys, driving cars, playing football, whatever, doing what you want, going to the pub, you know, meeting your friends, whatever it is. You know, you've got to, you know, have a situation where life just stays the same or returns back to where it was. Look, if there is ever a bastion of something that is positive, the Harley dealership is still open. But look, for now, let's see how it pans out for everybody. But just keep the faith, everybody, keep strong, and just be aware that life is changing, the rules are changing, the laws are changing, and they may not be in our favour for a long time, but we've got to make sure that they do return back to normal. We cannot allow, you know, governments, law enforcement, well, law enforcement will only enforce the laws, of course, you can't blame them, but we cannot allow the lawmakers to get power hungry and totally destroy our way of life in the fear of something might return again. We've got to ensure that. Catch you on the next video, guys. Catch you on the next video. Cheers.